B-O-A-B, baby, we're bums.
As many of you know, the eye of Hurricane Irma directly hit the Florida Keys. Our boat was at Stock Island Marina in Key West, Florida. And Key West, Florida, as you can see there, it got the western wall of the eye. So the most intense part would be the northeast. The plan was to ride out the hurricane in St. Petersburg, where good friends Gary and Barbara lived. But the hurricane changed course, and we were forced to evacuate. That's where John and Chris come in. They had a condo in Largo with hurricane windows, a little more northeast, which was in a safer place.
We had fun. It was an adventure, but we
Hi.
had fun.
We made it.
Thank you. I want to give you a hug. Yeah, you guys. Wonderful. Yeah, their place was really solid. We hardly heard a noise.
We didn't hear anything. Yeah. It was perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
They lost power last night, but you can see the extension cord here coming from their neighbor's house. And
so we have TV.
She made us coffee as well.
I know, wonderful neighbors.
Yeah, and we ate really good.
We
ate amazing meals.
We had a couple days.
We had fun nights.
We did.
Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Very welcome.
You guys were great.
Awesome.
Honestly.
No,
glad you were here.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you to Gary and Barbara, John and Chris, and then I met many other friends of Gary and Barbara, and it was a good time. We're on our way from Largo to Tampa. Gary has volunteered to drive me to Joyce's house, where Joyce apparently needs some help in her yard.
I was telling Joel, I think one of the biggest regrets that we have is not getting into the boating life and the lifestyle where you're independent and you're challenged and you learn things when the kids were smaller, so that we could have raised them in that environment to be more independent and just experiencing things. I mentioned to Joel that when Barbara and I got married, we were in that mindset of you join a company, you work there for 30 years, you get a gold watch, and you're croaked. And we've not. I think we've had a 180-degree turn from that. So it's not too late in life to change your way of thinking, and we're just glad we did it. I mean, I wouldn't be here today, and I wouldn't have met this fine young man, and he was invaluable in helping us get prepared for this storm, help save our boat, and I'm sure we'll cross paths again.
Joyce's house held up really well. The inside, there's no flooding. Her power's out. Everyone in this area has no power. You can see she had a tarp there. Thank you, Gary, for getting me to Joyce's. I'm gonna help Joyce try to clean this yard up. Her son Tony came into town, and we're gonna just do a little cleanup. Then I think I'll be on my way back to Key West.
Stomach in a little bit. Oh. Hurricane water.
It's what you do when you have no power, no water.
Somehow there's cold beer. It's incredible.
Morning, Joyce.
Morning.
How you doing?
I'm doing okay. I'm just thankful everything's okay. Thankful you're here.
Awesome.
Looking sharp this morning. Starting to look familiar.
Hey, this
Changed clothes after 5 days.
Joyce got me this outfit because I was wearing the same clothes for a few days. I think she went thrift store shopping, which she does so well. She got me this shirt and these shorts, and so I decided to change for her.
Hi.
Morning, Darby.
Morning.
I was at Joyce's house for about 1 week. It was another amazing experience. You know, Joyce,
you know, that lake house is epic, and she makes great meals every single day. Awesome. While I was at Joyce's, I noticed she has a feeder outside, and there were animals, birds mainly, and squirrels coming and going all the time, blue jays, cardinals. And so I had some time on my hands, decided to film, try to catch some of this action, and made a pretty awesome video. So enjoy this. I had explored Greyhound bus, airplane, hitchhiking was my #1 option. I was pretty sure I was going to hitchhike. And then Jilly Pilly, again, Jill comes to the rescue, decides she wants to help out old Jolie Polly.
A huge thank you to Tony, my brother, another fellow bum. You might think he's out of the picture, but without his help, Shock Mate would not have had a spot here at Stock Island Marina, and there's no doubt being able to be docked here saved her life. And you can see there's some damage here. This was about the only damage I was able to find, and she took on some water. So thanks, Tony. Couldn't have done it without you. Also, a big thanks to my legendary friend, Holly. She stayed behind here in Key West at the marina, and after I had left, she added 4 more bumpers to my port side, as well as about 3 more lines coming off, you can see there in my stern, to hold against the north wind, which was the strongest. They said it got up to 140 miles an hour here. Yep. Wow, not much at all in here. Jill was so helpful and made this the best possible experience. She helped me reassemble the boat. She brought tons of water and sandwiches, really delicious pre-made sandwiches, and meatballs, all sorts of goodies, and she was awesome. Thank you, Jill.
And it does feel like the sails. Good idea. Beautiful.
You know what that means, don't you?
Yeah, I can finish the clothes.
She's ready to fly.
Okay, so pulling out of the dock was a disaster, and I think subconsciously I somehow just deleted that. I was converting the footage, and I definitely saw the clip there. Jill had her head cam on and filmed the whole thing, and it was kind of a disaster. I wasn't very informative. You know, I'm kind of taking control of everything, and I'm trying to tell them what to do, but I mean, I'm still learning myself. Oh yeah, and pulling into the field dock, I thought maybe there'd be somebody to throw lines to. Well, there was nobody to throw lines to. So, you know, on the fly, I figured it'd be no big deal. I tell Marina to go up, grab the bow line. Jill, I gave her the stern line, said when I get close, jump off and put him under the cleat. And, I figured we'd just go for it. I didn't give clear enough instructions. So if you don't see anyone, Marina, you might have to come closer to the middle of the boat and just jump off with the rope. And then put it on a cleat as soon as you can. That one up there in the front. Yep, that one. Hurry up, get it underneath that one if you can. Just, you gotta put it underneath, please. Put it underneath. Pull it slack. Pull it tight. Now pull it, wait for it. Right about there. So we were in the marina for 13 days, and today we just pulled out of the marina. Jeez. Jared, Tony, and I, we all met Marina in Cuba, and so she showed up the night before we left. Of course. And we're on our way back to Fleming Key. We're gonna try to anchor the same way we had it before the hurricane, and then get to work from there. And the sail over here, I pulled up the main and pulled out the jib, mainly just to see the sails, see if everything was operational. I don't think I had the sail set perfectly, so for those of you who are more advanced sailors, you're probably watching these sail settings and scratching your head. Maybe the wind was at our back off our starboard, so I think I needed to let more of the jib out, and probably, honestly, we were almost on a wing-on-wing situation, but I didn't want to try to take that on more or less by myself with two people who were not very experienced themselves, and I was not very helpful when I tried to give instructions. I'm still learning, so they did amazing in dealing with me for that. Hatch is holding. Of course, it's not taking on much wind at the moment, but you can't even really tell.
Yeah, it was. Lovely Aunt Joyce. She said Eddie was doing fine. And
what are you inspecting? Weather? What a different view than 10 days ago. I was back that way about 1,000 yards. We're gonna go check out some of the wreckage. overboard! Look at her. As you can see, it was a beautiful sunset followed by a beautiful sunrise followed by a beautiful sunset. Water was amazing. You know, you feel very lucky, you feel very happy, you have great company and food, and at the same time you're torn between enjoying yourself and then you look out and you see devastation, and you know that each one of those boats has a story behind it, with most likely one or multiple people who have been severely put out and are in a really tough spot. And it's interesting. You know, it's kind of weird. Do you have fun? You're kind of happy and you want to celebrate because somehow you made it through, but then at the same time you see so many others who weren't so lucky.
Boats on a boat. B-O-A-B, baby, we're B-O-A-B, baby, we're B-O-A-B, baby, we're bums.
These are the tales of Moab.